Welcome painters and decorators to the internet. It's Phil Beckwith, your favourite professional painter and decorator. I hope you say favourite. If I am your favourite, you'll see there's a bit of a link there. You can press a button, give thanks, send me a bit of money if you like. That money goes towards video editing software that I'd like to be purchasing, some new camera gear, bits and pieces like that. So I don't think that would go towards my Porsche, but every little bit helps. Right, that said, what we're talking about today, we're talking about, should we say the elephant in the room? Zinsser guards, where to use it, what for? I'm going to say it now, it's not PVA. It's not PVA. I'm going to tell you where I'm using it. And this is a bit of a controversial one. If you see above me, I'm going to turn the lights off. I've got a ceiling in a kitchen. And it's been some bad cracks across the middle. You probably won't see it on this video camera that I'm using. My cameraman's is on holiday, so I'm having to do video myself. But there was a bad crack across the middle of the ceiling, and this kitchen ceiling is actually going to have wall rock, the fibre lining paper going across it to hold back that crack. It's been raked out, it's been double filled, it's been sanded with the Mirka. And now what I'm doing is I'm going over the whole surface with a coat of Zinsser guards. And you're going to say, Phil, why are you doing Zinsser guards over the ceiling? Well, there's a couple of reasons. I want a sound, very clean, smooth surface to put my wall rock on. Now, you'll say, well, you could do that with a coat of paste. Yes, I could do that with a coat of paste. But because I've got quite a bit of filling up in this top corner there, and across the middle, I wanted to give it a sound surface to work over. And this, you can read the can. I mean, it says Zinsser guards. It says high performance, and it's a sealer, and it's an alkaline surface primer. Now, alkali resisting primer, PVA isn't, but guards is. So if you've got an alkali problematic surface, you've got efflorescence on it and bits and pieces like that. Guards is ideal to go over those sorts of surfaces. And also, I mean, you can see what it says. For all porous surfaces, seals damaged drywall. And I'm reading that backwards off the camera. But the main thing I'm using this for is for all porous surfaces. Now, that ceiling was porous because it had only got a cheap matte emulsion over it. Plus, where I had quite a bit of filling in that corner, which I did yesterday, and then I've just final sanded it today, that was very dry. And what I didn't want to do is take the chance of just putting a thin coat of paste over it, i.e. the size, and you always use your paste thin down. Well, I'd say always use your paste thin down that you're actually applying your wallpapers with, because that's always the best thing to do, keep with the same paste. But what I didn't want to do is put paste over it as a size, but it wouldn't penetrate enough into that surface to give me a sound surface for putting this wall rock on, which is your fibre liner that stops the cracks coming back through. Hence why I've actually used guards. Now, I've got, I don't know whether you see it, I've done all the ceiling, albeit that little square. Now, can you just, let me try and clean the lens. Well, that's better. Look, 10 years younger. That square there has no guards over it. See where the alarm is? Now you can just make out that over the surface. Let's see if we can turn you around and catch the light. Can you just see that little bit of a sheen over the surface? That's because it's taken that porous element out of the ceiling and put, well, a coating on it that seals it. That's all I can say. But that corner there, I've not actually put anything on. I will obviously put stuff on that before I finish. But I'm going to tell you just things about this. It's dry within about 30 minutes, and you can go over it. I mean, as it says, it's dry within 30 minutes. I can do what they're doing painting and decorating shops, just read the back of the can for you. Right, yeah, it's dry within 30 minutes, which it's probably dry quicker than that. Your finished coats can go over after 3 hours. It's for interior use, used with all paints and wallpapers. Now, the other thing is, it's dead easy to clean up because it's soapy water, just warm soapy water. Use a bit of cold water first to rinse out your brush, then work your way up to a little bit of warm soapy water, not too hot because you don't want to damage your bristles of your brush, and also you don't want to put too much heat into your brush where the guards is that it suddenly starts drying it and setting it. Right, the other thing I want to mention, guards, you can only use it inside. If you want to be using a Zinsser product for sealing, i.e. like a stabilising solution, because this is very much like a stabilising solution inside. If you've got efflorescence and bad walls that are porous, you'd be using that. The other one that you'd use outside is the Zinsser Peel Stop, because you can use that outside. That is very, very similar to using stabilising solution. And if you look over my shoulder there was a link to a video about stabilising solution I did a few weeks ago. So that's it. I know you're going to go, oh, Phil, you don't want to be using guards because it's about 30 quid a tin. I know it is. But for this job, it's all been priced for, it's all been allowed for. And I know this is going to give me a sound, clean, smooth surface for me to put wall rock on. And when I say I'm going to be lining the ceiling with wall rock, I'm going to be applying, well, I'm going to start from the window, as you should do, work from your window all the way to the end. And that's because back in the day when you had, I'll move out the light, back in the day when you had dodgy edges of wallpapers, they always said work from the window, and then if there isn't a very good butt joint, it's not going to cast shadows from the light coming in from the window, making you see it over the ceiling. Does that make sense? Give us some comments if you want to know a bit more about that. But good practice, even though trimming on wallpaper is a lot better than it used to be, is work actually from the main light source of a room. I'm going to say where possible, because there will be that 1% of an instance where you can't work from a main light source. But work from the main light source of a room, which is mainly your main window, work your way back across the ceiling. But what I'm getting to is I will be pasting the ceiling and then hanging the paper to it, i.e. like I paste the wall. So I'll cut in around the edges, and then what I'll do, I'll just roll in the main area and then start hanging, applying it to the ceiling and not pasting the actual wall rock. So does that all make sense? Yeah, another thing I'll just pick up on, because I know some people from a few weeks ago, I'm using this on the job, the Isolac satin on these doors. Now, while I've been doing other processes, it's really quick, there's a video just there about the Isolac. I've got a primer coat on yesterday, and I've also got a first top coat on. Now, that will stop there because I'll get everything else done in this room, ceiling, walls, and then the final coat will go on these. But I'm impressed with it. So yeah, have a look at that link there if you wanted to know what paint I'm using. It's really white. I'm trying to turn light on, see. It's probably not helping me. And on this instance, because I've done the woodwork first before I start finishing the walls, I have gone onto the wall edges slightly just to seal it in. I won't be doing that, will I? Because I'll be properly cutting in. You know I'll cut in properly. But no, very impressed with that. I know that's on another video. Oh, another good product. Do you want a review on that sometime? Permawhite for bathrooms. Oh, it's brilliant stuff. Another great product. Another really good product. But no, thanks for listening. Don't be frightened to use Zinsser guards on surfaces ready for papering. And I'm going to say over and out, thanks for listening. I'm going to finish off that little square there. I'm going to give that a good few hours before I start getting the paper on. I've kept this under 10 minutes. And I'm going to say to you, have I got a video there? And have I got a video there that you can link to? Much appreciated, because all those clicks of going through these videos and watching me, it all helps. All helps me getting those 0.000 pence accumulating to get that Porsche that I'm after. I want a Porsche out of the money from YouTube. We'll see.